Hello, everyone. It is me, Jason Zacup. Welcome back to another episode of What Movies Do You Like? I'm joined by Mac. Why don't you say hello,
Hi.
Mac? Hi, Mac.
Hi.
Hi, Mac. Hi, Mac.
First day of school or something.
Might be. I don't know.
Alright, everyone. Name 3 things you did this summer.
Blew up a school, blew up a school, blew up a school. Next question.
Busy summer, huh?
I had a really busy summer. Hey everyone, welcome back to What Movies Do You Like? I already said that, but I'm going to say it again, just in case you have dementia.
You get a double welcome.
You get a double welcome. Yeah,
I hope
appreciate
you feel
it,
really
you fucking assholes. I'm just kidding. I'm being silly. We have 2 movies we're going to be talking about.
No way.
Yeah, no way, dude. But before that, we have not a big announcement. We have something big has happened. About a day we're
I was gonna
recording
say
this.
we have a big announcement, but
Yeah, I have a bomb. A big thing happened today. By the day we're recording this, the 2025 Oscar nominations have just been announced. They would have been announced sooner, but LA's not in the best state right now.
Yeah.
I have heard they're going to get some rain soon, though, so that'll be nice. Although I have heard that could lead to mudslides. We'll see what happens. Hoping the best for people in LA, but anyhow, Oscars.
Yeah, the Oscars.
Woo! Woo! Yeah!
I need to look at the.
Yeah, you gotta look at the list. You gotta look at
Look
that.
at the list. Huh.
I gotta look at the list. I gotta look at the list.
I gotta look at the list.
So it's a really weird Oscars. This is gonna be a really weird Oscars this year in comparison to 2024, which was mostly pretty solid for the most part. There was some weird stuff, but most of it was damn, I actually kind of like that. I like the nominees. Meanwhile, here it's just a huge what the fuck is this bundle of movies? And
Usually it's oh, sorry.
no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Usually it's okay, I've seen a handful of the movies, but this time it's I've seen one of the movies.
Which one have you seen?
The Wild Robot.
That's out of all the
It's
nominees
animated,
overall.
best animated.
Yeah,
Out of the best picture, I've seen
none of them. Damn.
Yeah.
Yet. Ooh, that's ominous. So
I guess.
I guess I don't know. The media thing that is really making me cringe is that this year's the film that has the most Oscar nominations is Amelia Perez or
Perez.
Perez. Yeah, I knew how to say it, but it's one of those things where as soon as I was recording and saying it out loud, I just immediately forgot Perez. Yeah. I was literally saying Amelia Perez before recording too.
You're practicing.
Well, it's because want to make sure I pronounce it right. But
Yeah.
speaking of which, that movie has 13 Oscar nominations, and it's tied with Oppenheimer, which also had 13 Oscar nominations last year. I have my pencil in my mic. I don't know if you heard that. Oh, whoopsies.
I heard it that time.
Yeah, whoopsies. But yeah, that is incredibly embarrassing because that movie is fucking. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
I mean,
What?
to me, it's a fumble both years because I didn't really like Oppenheimer.
Okay, but the very least, with Oppenheimer, I will agree it wouldn't be my pick at all for Best Picture whatsoever. I did like it, but it wasn't man, now that's a Best Picture. But at least with Oppenheimer, it was competent, said what it wanted to say, had filmmaking aspects that were good, none of which I can really say about Amelia Perez. It overstuffs itself with trying to be so many things, but it feels so cramped in that despite being 2 hours and 10 minutes, it feels too short. Nothing feels like it has enough time to breathe or sink in. Honestly, with the way this story was going, it would have worked better honestly as like a mini series instead of like a movie, like detailing like exact things about like Amelia transitioning and trying to like live a better life and be a better person. But not it's not just like that, not just that overbearing. But I've heard it's like so it's like it's a trans lead musical, and the music is bad. The music is really fucking bad.
No, I haven't watched it, so I can't like judge this, and I'm also not trans, so I guess I really can't speak on it. But I've heard that it's transphobic.
Oh, I heard this one particular thing. So there's a whole song number where one of Amelia's kids who doesn't know that Amelia transitioned, which that's a whole like plot description that I don't feel like doing right now. Basically, one of Amelia's kids who doesn't know that Amelia's, used to be her dad and blah blah blah. This kid has a whole song about like how Amelia smells like her dad, and for what I heard, they established that before Amelia became Amelia that they were on HRT for 2 years, and from what I heard, HRT gets rid of body odor. So that wouldn't happen whatsoever, and they have a whole song number about it.
Mm. Yeah, because 2 years is like a long time.
Yeah.
To be on that, and like, still.
Yeah, and I've heard it's also like really bad at like establishing like Mexico and the life of Mexico. Like I also heard like people who like whose Spanish is their native language. They say that the performances were really fucking bad. Like, if
Selena Gomez.
It does have Selena Gomez, and she was not good. She was.
I like her vibe though.
I like
just
her.
In general.
She does have. Yeah, just in general. All right. Yeah. So that's the big embarrassment, and also Challengers got heavily snubbed. I honestly was surprised that Challengers got absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I was like, I need to watch Challengers before the Oscars, but
now you don't really need to.
I'm still gonna watch it, but
honestly, it's really great regardless. Like Oscar nominations or not, it's a movie worth watching. And now I'm like wondering what's gonna win Best Original Score, because I was so locked in that like that was gonna win the Oscar for Best Original Score, and that's not even nominated. So I guess The Brutalist or Emilia Perez might be winning. I hope it's not Emilia Perez. The music was not good. It was so bad. But
sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I feel like Longlegs should have gotten a nomination for some kind of like technical.
Maybe cinematography.
I was thinking like cinematography or maybe like editing. I don't know.
Dude,
no, not editing.
The editing category is so weird. It feels like they just picked like a hat of like the films that were nominated for like Best Picture.
Yeah, this film has a lot of editing.
It's either
good?
that.
Is it good editing this time? Is it?
It's either that or it's just like the film barely has that much like interesting editing going on.
Yeah.
Like
it's either
one of
that or it's
Bohemian Rhapsody. One of the only times I've actually agreed
with. Think about if the editing is good before you nominate it and pick it for the award.
One of the only times I agreed with the Academy with like their best editing choice was Chicago. I think that was one of the only times I was like, yep, I agree wholeheartedly with that. But every other time it's just like, really? That is best film editing? Like, really? I think it's just like my style choice.
So it's just like, I believe you, except for Bohemian Rhapsody. That was.
Yeah, that's like the bare minimum. Like, if you can recognize that editing of Bohemian Rhapsody, you can recognize editing overall. You're also an Edgar Wright fan, so that's also a contribute.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I think
he's my number one.
He is a really great director. I think the one big film that's going to take home the Big Boy Awards is going to be The Brutalist, which I would have seen sooner, but I can't see it in theaters. There's nothing playing nearby, and I don't know when it's going on digital. So yeah, that's probably going to be the one. I think most likely it'll probably get Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor in a Leading Role. I can see it winning Best Cinematography, because I've heard the cinematography is like fucking mind blowing.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to watch it in a theater either, because like, okay, skip ahead like 10 seconds if you. Don't want any spoilers at all, but
okay.
I heard that there's two separate scenes where there's like a hand job.
Dude, Adrian Brody hand job goes crazy.
Is he giving it or
I
receiving it?
I imagine
I have no
receiving,
idea
or
what the
maybe
movie's about.
giving.
That's the only thing I know about it. Is that that
It's just a hand
happens and
job.
there's an intermission. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I guess we can also speak about one controversy about that before we get on to the movies, because like we can get into a whole discussion with like the Oscars, but we're probably gonna soon get into the movies that we're gonna be talking about. So I guess just to wrap up the one thing, because like there's a lot of movies on there, but like it's gonna take forever. We talk about every single one of them. What are your thoughts on the whole like brutalist AI controversy? Controversy. I can't fucking speak. Just you know what I'm talking about.
Mm, I think that they probably shouldn't have used it, but honestly, it's not the worst like use of AI. It's not egregious.
Yeah, I from what I've seen,
It's
I
like
like
putting auto tune on a song, kind of.
yeah with like I've heard like because I read articles about it. I heard that the director said like the AI for the performances were more just like certain pronunciations for Hungarian, which you know you could have just hired a Hungarian actor, but I'm
Yeah,
I'm I'm
that's what I was
sure
thinking.
I'm sure that like they wanted to have some star power for the movie to like promote it, so but whatever. And from what I can tell from the building, that was more just like they used AI as a blueprint and like drew like a finalized version of it, from what I've heard.
Okay.
So while the AI is definitely strange and I feel like could have had loopholes. It's not like something like Late Night with the Devil, where like that was just downright replacing like artists. Like that was just a blatant use of like replacing artists. Like it just fully displayed that with no like loop around or like artists being like somewhat contributing to it in a way. It's just like, hey, here's like three AI generated images that we could have like easily hired an artist for. I've heard some people say like the AI in the Brutalist it's a worse usage than Late Night with the Devil, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? People just say words and think that it could just stick.
Yeah, and like I've taken it. I took an AI class my
I'm
last
so
semester of
sorry.
college, so like I have like a decent knowledge of like different types. Some
Understandable.
like voice modulation with an AI is definitely not as bad as straight up just generative AI generating images with it.
By the
Actually,
time,
okay, I was thinking.
okay,
Oh,
go ahead.
you can go. You can go.
No,
Mine's
no.
not as related.
Oh well, I was gonna just say like segue into like the movie discussion, but if you're gonna say
Oh,
something, go
okay.
ahead. Yeah.
Well, mine's Oscars related, so I will say it. Okay. So you and everybody on the comments of the like letterbox Instagram post I sent you with like the user ratings of the
For
nominees
Letterboxd have the best picture nominee, yeah.
you and everybody else were like, Amelia Perez should not be on there.
Yes, because it's
But
so
it should be
bad.
nominated.
Yeah, honestly,
And
I would be sad if it was like 1.5 out of 5. Honestly,
it was like two something. Yeah.
it's too high.
And that had me
Bring it
thinking,
lower.
at least once a month for like the past several months, I saw the TV Glow is trending on Twitter. And
I've
it's
heard
just
that
people
movie's
talking
great.
about how good it is, and they're like, "Oh, I finally watched it, and it's so good, it's so relatable, whatever." So how come that didn't get nominated? Instead,
It's
you get this one
probably
that nobody likes, apparently.
it was probably too weird for the Academy. I
Yeah,
imagine.
but the substance is on there.
Actually, you know what? Fair point. No argument there. I guess one of them. Well, the Academy loves musicals, so like one's a trans lead
That's
musical,
true.
one is like not a trans lead musical. So
I should have. I saw the Broadway glow.
that's that's a great
I
joke.
saw the stage lights glow.
All right. Wait, damn, we already 15 minutes into recording. Holy shit.
That's not bad.
All right. Do you
For
want
us.
to? Yeah, fair. Do you want to get into the movies? You want to get into movies?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I want to watch a That one's nominated for a lot of Oscars. I
Oh
should
yeah,
watch
I'm
it.
gonna watch that soon. But by the time it's uploaded, I'll already will have watched it, like probably months. But
Yeah.
so let's get into the movies themselves. Starting alphabetically, we have my pick. It's a 2024 animated film called Look Back, directed by. I like with the last episode. I have a pronunciation list just to like hopefully pronounce like these names that like are a bit like again. I suck at like names that I don't know like in English, let alone like foreign. Directed by Kiyo Taka Osayama. This was based on a manga who ended up being also somebody who wrote Chainsaw Man, so that's kind of neat. It follows Fujino. It starts like with her in middle school. She's basically a like popular student because she does like these like comedy comics, like short comics at like her school newspaper, and people are
Yeah,
like,
she
"Damn,
does like 4 panel manga for the
yeah."
school newspaper.
People are like, "Damn, you're so fucking cool! Holy shit!" And during that, there's also another student who doesn't show up to school but who is a student there, called Kiyomoto. She
Yeah,
has
Kyomoto.
much more detailed comics, and like Fujino gets jealous about that, and like after going through like some up and downs, she like learns to be okay with that. But then the teacher is like, "Okay, you're graduating middle school. Can you give this like diploma to like Kiyomoto?" And like she's like, "Okay, fine, whatever." And after a little bit of like little misunderstanding and all that stuff, the two quickly meet each other and become friends, and it kind of just follows that. And I realize I put a lengthy discussion on that, but that most of that happens in the first like 15 minutes. So, and this was a really neat movie, honestly. Like I saw that. Well, I hate to sound like one of those guys, but I first heard about it on Letterboxd. It was like pretty high rated. Like one of honestly, like one of the problems with Letterboxd is the recency bias. Like when a new thing is like really good, people just spam like 5 stars for it, and then you like see it gradually get downer and downer. So when I first sort of looked back, it was pretty high rated on Letterboxd. It's still in like the top 250, but yeah, I first heard about
Has
that.
a
And I was
100 on Rotten Tomatoes.
nice. Um, and I thought this movie was honestly pretty neat. It was a very nice, simple movie. It knew exactly what it wanted to be, and yeah, there's not much else for me to say. Just like the first, like saying like the first thoughts. So, what did you think, Mac? While you're doing that, I'm gonna mute some servers because I forgot to do that.
I really enjoyed it. I really liked the art style. I liked Chainsaw Man anyway, so I went into this like hopeful that it was gonna be good, and it was. So I was like, oh. It
I
was
like that
kind of weird
energy.
to watch Chainsaw Man, where there's so many like vulgar jokes, I guess, and then like watching this, and it's like pretty like kid friendly. I was like, okay.
I wouldn't say it's
Um,
exactly kid friendly.
well,
It's
trying to think of
it's more
anything
like
crazy that happened.
I'd say like it's more like PG or like PG-13.
PG is kid friendly. But yeah, that's fair. Um, I don't remember what I was gonna say.
You have dementia.
Oh, it's short. It's like
58
right under an
minutes.
hour, and it definitely feels short, but it doesn't feel like it was too short. Like you get what you need out of it, you know?
I might actually disagree on that, but I'm going to talk about that later during the spoiler
Ooh,
discussion.
okay.
But yeah, you said one of the immediate things I really loved. I love the very expressive and like energetic animation style. I love how the film was willing to even experiment with different art styles because like during the first like it was like
Oh
three
yeah.
or 3 or 5 minutes, like it was showing one of the comics that Fujino made, and the way it's presented is like legit as if like how like an actual middle schooler would like draw like a comic, and I thought that was really
Yeah,
neat. Like
it's kind of goofy.
it was honestly really cute. I like how it was presented.
Yeah.
And the animation just keeps going. Like, there's a lot of like great facial expressions. Honestly, I could see this movie having like in the future, like becoming like a meme with like facial expressions, because like some of them faces were like they were kind of goofy, but like in a great way. And it's it. I mean, it's like an anime movie, so like usually like like movies in like Japan, like animation, they have like more expressive facial expressions overall. You know
Yeah,
how it
but
is.
like, especially like that artist, he has like a pretty like unique style, I'd say.
Yeah,
I really love the coloring in the movie.
oh
Oh
yeah,
man,
it's really beautiful looking. It managed to
this
make
this is a really pretty movie to look at.
it manages to make like a snowstorm look beautiful.
Yeah, I think my favorite part visually
Okay.
is whenever they become friends and they like hang out and they're walking through like the crowds together on like the
Oh
sidewalk.
yeah, in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the coloring really fits. Like the color combinations give a really like nice and cozy feeling to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been meaning to learn more about like color theory overall, but I feel like movies like these they really understand like the whole concept of like color theory and like what works.
They are color theory.
They are the color theory. You need to
Film
study this
student
movie.
watching La La Land for the first time.
Color theory. Whoa.
Wow, it's incredible. I do love La La Land.
I was gonna say like
Also
you're like the
not a film
biggest Lola
student.
fan. That is
I don't know,
true.
but everybody talks. Whenever you think about like color theory, it's like, oh, it's a La La Land.
Fair. One thing I did also really love from this movie was the overall score from. Hold on, I have their name right here. Haruka Nakamura. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Nakamura?
That yeah, I think
Maybe?
so.
I'm not looking at it, but
Yeah. The score from him, honestly, it is so like cozy and beautiful, and
yeah.
like there. Go ahead. You gonna say
I was
something?
gonna ask if was this. I was gonna ask if this was nominated, like the score was nominated for an Oscar, but it
Nope.
wasn't. I'm thinking of the
Nope.
Wild Robot.
Nope. Honestly, you can replace that. You can give this movie like a score nomination, and replace it with Amelia like Perez, and nobody would complain.
That would be like such a drastic change.
I don't give a shit. That movie
Has
deserves
an
like
animated movie ever been nominated for Best Picture?
yes, Up and Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, I would pick Wally over Up, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Beauty and the Beast, that's really solid though. So is Up. Up is great.
Yeah, Up is great. Now going down, back to look back.
Looking back,
Where?
me trying to think of quirky little transitions for essays in college.
Time to go back down. But going back to the movie, yeah, I love the score. I mean, I think it's just because like I'm such a slut for like piano. I love piano. It's
That's
like
so valid.
it's one of my favorite instruments. Probably up there with like violins. Like I just love how they sound.
Violin.
Yeah, I think this movie has both actually. Like it has violins and piano. So
Probably. I'm really bad at like remembering like movie scores.
I know basic instruments. I don't know like if you ask me to name anything other than like the basic stuff, I'm gonna look at you like a confused dog. But I
If there
know
was a
piano
French
is
horn in
used.
there, I'd be like, oh, there it is.
Oh my god! But yeah, the score was really great. I love what it was able to capture, and yeah, nothing much else to say from the score. Just really nice, really, and it also was used very purposely. Like there was plenty of times where the film knew when the score can add to a scene, and rather than like diminish from it. Because there are some scenes in this movie where
Yeah.
like shocking things happen, which we'll get into later. Where there's no score played at all. Like it's very respectful about the like how dire the situation got.
Yeah, there's some films where it's just like quiet. It's like
Yeah, and I love that. I
makes
love
it a little harder.
yeah. And I guess we can also talk about Fujino and Kaio Moto's friendship and how it progresses. I mean, it's kind of hard to talk about it fully because this is a 58-minute film, so you have to be talking about like the first like 20 to 25 minutes to
Yeah,
avoid
and I was about to
spoilers.
say something, but it would definitely be a spoiler.
You
So
do
I
that a
can't say
lot.
it. Yeah, but at least I'll think about it first.
That is fair. That is fair. I just noticed like every episode report you're saying like I was about to say something, but that's actually a huge spoiler.
Cause I have like a really good thought, and I'm like, oh, I can't say that.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. But yeah, I love how their friendship is. I've heard some people say like they might be more than friends. I'm like, hey, yo, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe we'll never tell.
Well, we'll never know. Watch the movie for yourself, and you determine that. And I can say that too
Honestly,
because, good.
from the intro and from the poster, I thought that they were both boys, or at least thought that like Fujimo was a boy.
Damn. How did it feel when you realized your senses?
Yeah. For all the JoJo fans out there, it's like watching JoJo Part 5 and you see Narancia.
I don't know what the fuck any of that means, but I'll agree with you.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite.
Didn't ask.
And he's a boy and he's not a girl, but he looks like one.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. So with the friendship, I love how both of them are like very different. Like with Kiyomoto being like pretty much like mostly inside. I love how like she's a lot more like expressive and like you can tell she doesn't know how to control her emotions that well.
Yeah, she's like a shut-in.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like whenever she does get to like interact with someone else, it's like
I love that first
she's kind of
scene.
awkward about it.
Yeah, I love that first scene where they meet and
It's like so awkward.
Fujino is like the most like she's like basically like a statue with like her responses. Meanwhile, like
She's just like,
Kiyomoto is like just like going expressive and like being all over the place.
she's like, this girl is crazy. But like, I kind of feel bad. I don't know. I'll hang out with her.
I mean, she was basically just inside her entire life before,
Yeah.
but this was like what like in seventh grade during during the time. The film jumps around with
Like
timelines so much.
sixth or seventh grade, they're graduating middle school, but it's different than American middle school.
There's too much difference about like countries with cultures. I can't remember anything ever. Ask me to remember back yet, and I'll just like pass out. And, like I don't know.
Like how Pegasus. They're so long. I don't know.
No, they're so long. I guess we can also talk about one thing: the film's relatability when it comes to being an artist, and particularly with drawing. I love the first act, particularly with like how Fujino kind of just stops drawing for like who knows what it was, like months, maybe even years, before she just randomly got inspired to do it again. And
Yeah.
I really like that because it kind of spoke to me because I remember back in middle school. This is like a different thing. Like before I became like the movie nut I am now, I had a really bad way of watching movies where like I would try to watch as much as I can per day, but if I didn't like what was going on in the first 20 minutes, I'd just like skip through all of it. It was really bad, really awful. Don't do that like at all. Um, and it kind of caused me to stop watching movies for years until randomly I got started getting inspired because I was like, man, I actually really like movies.
You're like, wait, they're kind of awesome. I should start a podcast about it.
That was like that was a year
I know,
later.
that was like way after.
Yeah,
So
but
that you were like big into movies too.
yeah, like the way the film does articulate burnout is really feels very like
It's so real.
yeah, it's so real. Because unfortunately, like one of the biggest fears about like doing the thing you love is like overdoing it to the point where you're just like, I don't even remember why I liked doing it in the first place. Like, what was even the point in like going as far as I did when I fucking hate it now? The one thing I loved the most, and
Yeah.
I think the film does a really good job at articulating that. And like, I already used the word articulate. That's my new word now. And also like questioning that, like, what happens when you just downright like regret making the choices you do, and I think the film answers that in a very sweet way. But again, that's a spoiler thing, so we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
Honestly, the
Dude,
problem with
Burnout, it's like, I just feel nothing about it, you know?
yeah,
It's like, I feel nothing about this thing. I just don't even want to do it.
yeah, now get this bullshit out of my face. The unfortunate thing about Look Back is like, at least with the spoiler-free discussion, it's like very like simple stuff, because there is some crazy shit that happens in this movie, but it's all like spoiler related. And because this movie just
Yeah.
came out, unfortunately can't really get into a huge like discussion about it, because like still a lot of people want to see this. I mean, honestly, like this film,
As they should. Go watch it.
yeah. Like, honestly, you can replace Inside Out 2 with this film for Best Animated Feature nominee, and I honestly don't think
Definitely.
anyone would be upset. But to be fair, every Pixar movie gets an Oscar nomination for Best Animated Feature. Well, besides the first three they did when Best Animated Feature wasn't a thing. But you get the point. I think the only movies that have not gotten Oscar nominations after Best Animated Feature are the Cars sequels. Maybe Good Dinosaur. I don't know.
If The Good Dinosaur was nominated, it didn't deserve it. Well, okay, for the animation style, it was like beautiful. It
Yeah.
like visually is it's a really pretty movie. But like The Good Dinosaur, it was just so nothing.
Yeah, you just felt nothing. I guess the one thing I can mention that is spoiler free related, before we get into spoilers, is I really like how tightly focused the film was. Like, in an era where we're at with movies, where like the movies are like 3 hours plus long, and like everybody's complaining about how long movies are now and all that stuff. It's really rare to see a movie like this where it's just like, yeah, I'm a 58 long movie. What about a pussy? You gonna complain about it? You can watch me in like in one sitting in like an afternoon at like 1 p.m. Yeah, pussy. And like
It's like,
hardly
yeah,
see
you
that.
can watch this on your lunch break.
You could. I don't know about lunch break, but
Well,
unless you
it's less than an hour. I have an hour lunch break. I could do it.
damn, Jesus, I only get
Yeah,
35
but
minutes.
it kind of sucks though because I work 8 to 5 with an hour lunch. So it's like I'd
Yeah,
rather work like 8 to 4:30.
yeah. The Tennessee laws are weird. Or wait, are
It's
you?
in Alabama.
I
But
was
yeah,
gonna say like you're
that's
probably
not
not
even
yet.
laws. What do you mean?
I don't know.
It's
Workers'
just what my
rights.
boss decided.
Your boss is gonna receive something in the mail. Anyhow, look back.
Oh,
Yeah, I love how like bold it is with its like runtime, and like how it feels like with movies like these where they're like very short, most of them at least, they're very like like they know exactly what they want to tell. Like I can just imagine the director going like, okay, I want to make this movie, but if it's over 60 minutes, I'm going to kill you, okay? I imagine that was probably a relief for you, Matt, because you also have complained about how long movies are right now.
oh, it's just like, man, who has the time? That's like your entire afternoon. If I get off at 5, it's like that's my entire afternoon. And also, I feel like some things just don't need to be that long. Oppenheimer could have been 2 hours,
Yeah,
maybe two
yeah,
and a half. I think you could have cut it to 2 hours.
but don't
I
cut the
did not
scene
need
where
to see like Florence Pugh like in his lap while he's at the like
bouncing on
board
it.
meeting table. Yeah, bouncing on it hard.
I was gonna say, just keep that scene and nothing else. Make that in an entire
Just two
movie.
hours of that.
Florence Pugh just bouncing on it.
Hot
Oppenheimer had a
communist
really
girl
hard
bounces
time
on it
coming.
for 2 hours.
You would have people pay for that, and just have like the score playing in the background.
And then like put the explosion at the end.
And that's really smart because the significance in coming.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Challengers reference if you think about it.
Challenger reference. Do you
I
have
haven't
anything
even
you'd like
seen
to
it.
say about Look Back?
Spoiler free wise?
Yeah.
Um, hmm. Let's see, I already said that the art was awesome and the coloring was awesome.
Yep.
I don't know, the lighting was really good.
Yeah, they had the
So many
lighting did have
scenes
some
were
really cool
like
choices.
they're like by windows and stuff, and it's just like,
Oh yeah, it knows how to like really draw like
and I'm just like, I
window
want to live
glare.
there.
I want to live there. I want to
I
live
want
in
to
an
live there
animation
in
studio.
animated Japan.
I want to live in animated Japan. You think there's somebody
Yeah.
that's like actually thought like Japan was animated and like they went there and they were like, why the fuck everything's real?
Hey, wait, I'm crying, but I don't have Ghibli tears, so just regular.
What the fuck?
Send me home, I can't
Send me
do it.
home. Send me home.
Uh,
Um.
but yeah, spoiler free wise, uh, that's about it. I thought that the whole premise of like, a manga artist, or a mangaka,
I just say
as the
manga.
main character was fun.
I say mango.
What?
That's a mango artist. That's a mango artist.
Mango.
Yeah, I do like the. I like you really you really don't see a lot of movies focusing exactly on animators. Like, can you name
Yeah.
like another like big movie? Well, this movie's not exactly like big, but it's like well known. Like I'm trying to think of
Yet.
like other movies that like that are mainly about animators. I know Paranoia Agent had an episode about animators, but that was just an episode in a miniseries.
The closest I can think of is how, because it's a manga artist and not an animator. The closest I can think of is how many times Stephen King has made the main character
A
a
writer,
horror author for no reason.
self
He
promoting.
just likes putting himself in there.
Yeah.
The Shining, Misery. Um. Oh,
Maybe
there's
it
this
was.
one. It's actually a teleplay and it's not a book.
Ooh.
Where it's like this horror author, his wife gets a phone call and it's like a woman screaming, and she spends
Great start.
the whole like night like freaking out wondering who that could be. She like calls her daughter, she calls her like sister, and she's like, what?
That sounds
And
kind
it
of
turns
interesting.
out it's like spoiler, I guess, I don't even remember what it's called, but it turns out that like
It was him
it
the
was
whole
her
time.
from the future. The
What?
husband had like a heart attack and died, and she like picked up the phone and called herself somehow. I don't know.
That was a cool idea.
I
And then
think
this,
because it was like
then
a
you said
stormy night. I think they got struck by lightning or something, like the house or something. I don't know.
the husband got
I
struck
don't
by
remember.
lightning.
I feel like the storm had something to do with how the call. I don't know.
That was such
I
a
need to
neat
look this
idea.
up.
And then like you told me that, and now it's ruined for me. That's
I'm
that's
sorry.
so lame.
What?
That's kind of like a lame ending. Speaking of endings, we should probably get into the spoiler discussion. Look
Yeah.
back. All right, folks. Hello there. You are now listening to me again, unless you've been listening to this whole time. I don't know. We're going to be spoiling Look Back now because this is a very recent movie. This is probably so far the youngest movie we talked about. Skip to this timeline right now. I don't know why I said youngest. I gotta said early, like earliest. I don't know. I don't know.
Newest or something?
Whatever. I just thought with the
So
first one in my
we're going
head.
to jail.
The movie's going to jail.
Um.
Skip to this timeline right now if you don't want to get spoiled for Look Back. Besides that, we're gonna get through spoilers. 3, 2, 1. Draw, bitch.
Yeah.
Yo. All right, we can talk about the big thing that happens in the movie now.
Okay. So what was I gonna say before that was a spoiler?
Oh,
Oh.
I probably remember it like when we're talking about Gilbert Grape or something.
Yeah. It had something to do with the second half of the movie.
Well, I can
Oh,
start.
I think I was just thinking about how it like wasn't real.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what I was gonna say. I'll think
So
of something similar, maybe.
so this movie has really sudden like turns the story takes.
Oh
Like
yeah, like what?
it like you were watching this for the first 20 minutes, it's just like, okay, this is like a very like sweet movie, and then you get like 5 minutes in when like the two main characters are like grown up now and like they get like a deal, but like one of them doesn't want to do it, and you're like, okay, all right, they're separating ways. Okay, that's cool. And like 3 minutes in, like there's an axe murder and Kiyomoto has been killed. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Wow. All
Yeah,
right. Honestly, though, like that scene where we find out about that, that was honestly incredibly well directed. Like that was one of the most well directed scenes I've seen in an animated movie in like a while. Like the way like information is revealed in that, that was like fucking like wow.
yeah. Really love the way that like we learn stuff through the movie.
Yeah. It's
Also update. I found it. So sorry for the people from the that skip the spoiler discussion. They'll just never know, I guess. But I was thinking of Sorry, Right Number is the short story by Stephen King that's turned into a
all right.
teleplay.
Maybe the people didn't listen to my warnings, and now they're listening to the spoiler. They're listening to the spoiler discussion when I told them not to. Isn't that right, bitch? Yeah, I'm talking to you, you motherfucker. You son of a bitch. I'm gonna find you.
Wow. Well, then we'll have like one less listener.
Okay, never
We'll have
mind.
like
You're
11
fine.
instead of
You're
like
fine.
12.
Hey! Don't mention the numbers.
Let's get right to the numbers.
um, and also this film has dimension swapping in it.
Because of dementia.
This movie has dementia.
It kind of does, yeah.
Yeah, because we see another
Oh, yeah, at the end.
alternative timeline where Fujino doesn't they don't meet, and like Kiyomoto kind of goes on with like her life is basically the same, but when the axe murderer shows up, which by the way, that pickaxe murderer, he
That
is
scene
so
was
sweaty.
like so tense.
He was so sweaty.
I was laying in bed, but I was on the edge of my seat.
I was on the edge of my bed.
I was on the edge of my bed. I was like hanging ten.
Just imagining like the pose, just like gripping the edge of your bed with your hands as you're like your legs
I
are
was
like
thinking like with my feet, like I'm like a surfer. Like gripping the edge of my bed with my toes, and I'm like leaning over.
That scene is tense.
Like when a cartoon character's about to fall off a cliff, they like stop.
But the way, but then like because of the different dimension in time, the different roles that this dimension is in, Fujino is now into sports because like she was planning on going to sports before, in the first timeline before meeting up with Kiyomoto.
Yeah, she started doing like karate and stuff.
Yeah, and she defeats the pickaxe murderer by kicking him in the face as he deserves. And
yeah, and she like does it so hard she breaks her leg or something when she falls.
I think so, maybe. I don't even remember exactly what happened, but it was like something like that. And but I mean, well, that seems like because like before that, Fujino was at Kiyomoto's apartment, and she found like the comic strip that she wrote, where it was like kind of basically like bullying her for being like so indoors. She was just like, man, my art is so fucking worthless. Holy shit! I'm like the main reason this all happened, and like
Yeah.
And the film at first with this other time was going like, okay, so maybe it was better if they didn't meet up, but then it was like no matter what they were going to influence each other anyways, so
Yeah,
and
and I think that's like
it's
really
sweet.
sweet. I thought.
It's a really great message, and I think the overall like ways this film tells like finding hope and continuing your art even when it downright like kills you. Well, not literally kills you. She doesn't die from drawing. Well, somewhat. Actually,
She died from going to art school.
yeah, and like he thought the axe and pickaxe murderer thought she was plagiarizing his art, so he was just like, "All right, time to die."
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that it's implied that he killed like 12 people, I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
it's implied that he didn't care what person he found, they plagiarized his art.
Yeah, he was just schizophrenic. But yeah, I love how it finds that, and I love that montage near the end where it was like it's kind of like showing all the events, but it's like it's a plain white background.
Yeah.
Like it really captures the feeling of like finding like very like really like sweet memories that kind of have a little bit of a like sadness too, because like what by the end of the movie we're back in the first timeline, and in the first timeline Kiyomoto's dead. She's just straight up dead.
Yeah. You're kind of just hit with it and you're like, what? She's dead? Before you
Like
get to like the second half, you're like, what?
you
That's
get
it?
you get slapped with it, like holy shit.
Yeah. And it's like extra heartbreaking though because they had like a fight and they stopped talking
Yeah, like that was
before
the
that.
last scene they talked, the last time they talked to each other.
Yeah. And it was like over business too because it was over her manga.
Yeah, because she was gonna continue doing it just to get money, and Kiyomoto was like, "I want to go to art school," and she was like, "Bitch, get the
She's
fuck
like,
out of my
okay, fine,
face."
you're slow anyway when you draw.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. Like, get out of my face. I
Yeah.
love how
It's like
I kind of like I love
your
that about
friends, hold on.
like like how like Fuji, she always kind of had like that like stubborn brattiness to herself whenever she like kind of
Yeah.
she didn't get her way. Like she had that with like middle school and like a lot, and like you could
Yeah,
see
when
how
she
like
had a grudge over like another student just because she had
just
better art.
like I like that about her character and how that kind of gets tested whenever that stubbornness kind of leads to like an indirectly like ruining like a friendship forever.
Yeah. But I also think it's really nice that their art kind of like completes each other's.
Yeah, I love that scene where like the
Yeah.
alternative timeline, just like the comic strip that Kiyomoto drew, and, like slips to the door, and like Fujino finds it, and
Oh
it's like
yeah.
the main thing that keeps her going, and like and how like when she opens the door, like she's not there because like I guess there's like some I don't know what like the exact rules. I don't think it's like meant to be like literal, but there's like it's really like sweet. Like this movie's it can manage to make you like it manages to like punch you in the stomach really fucking hard and then like give you like a bundle of roses at the same time. It's like okay, like like thank you. I
Yeah.
guess I can
But
also get
like,
in.
oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, you go
I
ahead.
was gonna say because um, Fujimo draws. She doesn't really draw background. She's focused on the main, um,
Dude, I would love to read
like
that
the
Shark
characters
Boy
and everything.
manga.
And then Kiyomoto is like only good at backgrounds. So
Backgrounds are
like,
really hard to do.
yeah, they are, which is like hers are like really awesome.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't really notice it until they had that fight about I can just hire someone else to do the backgrounds quicker or whatever. And then I was like, oh shoot, yeah, I like Kiyomoto's comics were just like scenes.
Yeah, they were just like scenery.
They're just like fireworks
Yeah,
over the mountains or
yo.
something. Yeah.
I love
And
that.
then I was like, oh wow, so it's just like she didn't
Yeah,
try people,
I do love the
but they
comic
complement
strip.
each other well. Like they each have a place in the manga making process. I think.
Like interrupted you like 3 times during your while you were trying to speak. I'm like really sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I like interrupted you like 3 times. But I was just gonna say I love the comic strip that like Kiyomoto makes of like the alternative timeline. It was like it was honestly the funniest moment in the film for me.
Yeah,
Just to
that one was really
reveal
good.
like the pickaxe is just like in her back. Like, and that's the name of the movie. Honestly, the best like title like
Oh,
drop I've seen in a while. That was like honestly great. I guess I can also get into like my only real problem with the movie. So I did compliment how much I did love how like it knew what it wanted to tell narratively, and it's very tight pacing. And I have nothing about this movie feels long or like it's drawn out. But honestly, I kind of wish there was a little bit more towards the middle act in particular. Like I found like the first act to be and the first and final act to be like kind of like perfectly paced. Like there's like nothing that's like feels like you can add more or add less. But I kind of felt like with the entire like Kiyomoto and Fujino meeting, becoming friends, and like falling apart. I kind of feel like that just happens like way too shortly. I kind of feel like that kind of benefited. Honestly, like could have benefited for more like 10 minutes. Honestly, like I wouldn't. I'm not I don't feel like I'm exaggerating. I could have. You could have easily done like 10 minutes more of them like spending time with each other. And
yeah, because it did feel really sudden. Like they're having fun, they're growing up, and then
just
they stop
boom.
being friends, and then she dies, and you're like, oh, well.
That happened like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
All right.
Goodbye. Is she really dead?
Like damn. All right. See ya. Adios.
Yeah.
But
I kind of like that though. Whenever a character just really dies like really suddenly, because I don't have a chance to like get sad about it. Because I'm just kind of confused. I'm like, are they gone for real?
I'm like wait, what? But that's
I'm like, are
like
they coming back? Are they really dead? Yeah, she was really dead.
That's mainly my main criticism with the movie. I just feel like it could have had more towards the middle act in particular, and you, like I said, you still can have like a really short like timeline, like 68 minutes. If we were going by like what I would prefer, like 10 more minutes at least of them like getting to know each other and all that. That's still 68 minutes. That's still a really short movie. Like it wouldn't be like that much longer. But I've seen plenty of people who don't find these pacing issues. So clearly, the tight pacing has connected with others. I just think, like personally, I wanted more, and usually that's a compliment. Like I want more of this movie, but in this, it's just like, yeah, I kind of wish I saw more of that. That way, like other things could have been more impactful.
Yeah, like I feel like we could have got more character building.
Yeah. I was still shocked and like. It was heartbreaking when Kiyomoto did die, but I just wish
your audio is cutting out really bad for me. I think it's your Wi-Fi or something with Discord.
It's probably Discord, honestly.
Yeah.
I can get a little closer to the mic if you want. I can get a little closer.
You're fine now. I think your Discord is just having a moment.
My Discord is gay. But like, basically with like Kiyomoto's death, it's still like heartbreaking and like sad, but I just kind of wish there was more to it. That way it could just hit like a little bit harder, you know. But besides that, I don't really have like big criticisms for the movie. Like nothing that's like, man, I really didn't like this or didn't like that. Most of this movie, it's like either like really solid or like fantastic, honestly. And I guess one thing I also didn't mention is like I love how this film. I guess we did also talk about it in the spoiler-free thing, but I feel like we could talk about it a little bit more in the spoiler discussion. The physical effect that it has when you do the thing you love the most by a lot, because we do see like Fujino get the animation job she wanted. Well, it's not animation; it's manga, but regardless,
really bad.
Dude, you can suck my ass. I don't care.
Okay.
It'll come clear in the recording. You don't have to worry about Discord and opacity. Hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah, it should be fun in Audacity.
But like you do see Fujino, get like she becomes a manga artist, and like while that is like her dream job, you also see like the physical effect it has on her. Like she can hardly focus on anything else. Like there's an entire scene like right before she finds out like Kiyomoto died by the axe murderer, she's like drawing while talking to somebody on the phone at the same time, and like that is just like, man. And it's like late at night too. It's like that is just like, I get it, like Final Crunch. Like I relate to Final Crunch, but like, goddamn, that just sucks whenever it has to get to that moment. it's not just that with the night scene. You like see it a lot with like Fujino with like her physical effect that the art has gone with her. Like when she goes to like Kiyomoto's room and there's like those close ups with her face, she just looks so like defeated. And yeah, like there's obviously other effects to it, but I feel like her job kind of becoming more like the main thing she focuses on. That probably also had a big effect on that. Just like she was already so tired that this sudden tragedy probably just kicked her in the fucking throat and stomach at the same time.
Yeah.
I guess the one other thing I can mention, like spoiler wise, at least for what I can say, I really love the ending. I love how the picture stays as she continues to draw, and
Oh,
how
that
the
was so good.
yeah, and I love how the credits like go show like a whole day of like her animating, like you see the sky slowly go from like day to night. I thought it was a really sweet, it was really nice credits. This whole movie you can describe as like nice until it's not nice to you.
Nice until one of them dies. You're like, well.
It's like, damn, all right. I only had 2 seconds to prepare for that. Do you have anything you'd like to say, Max, spoiler wise?
I think I said it all. Spoiler wise.
Yeah, unfortunately, again, this is a really short movie, so it's like kind of hard to like get into a huge articulation about it. I said that the third time now. God, that's just my new word. Okay. All right.
You're very articulate this episode.
All right, we got done with the spoilers for Look Back. Overall, Look Back is a really great animated film, and I'm glad it's getting recognition overall. The animation is great, the music is beautiful, the directing is awesome, the characters are great. Basically, it's a very sweet and simple movie, and ironically, the only thing it could have benefited from was more time spent with like Fujino and Kiyomoto as like friends before like the big things happen in the film. What about you, Mech?
Yeah, I think that if we got like a little bit more character building, I would give it a little bit higher of a score. Um, but overall, I thought it was great. I thought it was really cute and sweet, and I'd watch it again because it wasn't like so sad that I like cried or anything, but it was like a little sad, you know?
It wasn't the Iron Claw.
Yeah, it wasn't the Iron Claw. I probably won't watch that again, but it was great. Like,
You give it a 10 out of 10.
it was really good.
Speaking of ratings, if I have to give Look Back a rating, it'd probably be a high 8 out of 10, closer to a 9.
I I think I would give it about the same, an 8. I'll give it an 8.5, I think.
An 8.5, alright.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright.
Alright.
Alright, I see you're cooking. Now that we got that out the way, let's talk about the other movie, What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Since this is your pick, Mac, why don't you take it away?
You know, Gilbert Grape, it's like the story about this guy named Gilbert Grape, you know, and he, is he the oldest child or is the sister? I don't know. Well, he's the oldest guy, so he's like the man of the house, pretty much.
Yeah.
'Cause his dad is gone and his mom is like really depressed and like overweight, and she really can't like get out of the house much. So it's pretty much up to him and one of his sisters to take care of the family. And he has like a pretty disabled brother and like a high school age sister to take care of too. So it's like there's a lot eating at him, you know?
Well, a lot is eating him out.
I don't remember that scene in the movie, but maybe I fell asleep or something.
Yeah, it's a post-credit scene.
Oh, okay.
That all changes when he meets a
the
woman,
credits.
though.
You know, it does all change when he meets a woman.
It's always because of women.
It's always women. Because women are awesome.
Ugh, yuck.
But yeah, so it's pretty much just like his. I don't know. I guess kind of like figuring out what he wants with his life, kind of.
Yeah.
I see it. Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning. I liked it.
Let's talk until the morning.
I thought, like, so many times during the movie, I was just like, oh yeah, that's Johnny Depp. Because I kind of forgot, because he looks like really normal in it.
he doesn't look
like,
sweaty.
Johnny Depp used to be like hot.
Johnny Depp used to be hot, damn.
Yeah, and then he started working with Tim Burton.
He got Tim Burton-fied.
Yeah, they just put him in like the really pale makeup. It's like,
yeah. When you start an Edward Scissorhands, it all changes.
Yeah, when you started Edward Scissoring, you know. I don't know.
Edward Scissoring. All right.
Yeah.
So my thoughts on Gilbert Grape. I thought it was pretty great. I didn't know what to fully expect because I have seen a film from this director before, a film called Chocolate. And that movie, for some reason, that movie was like really beloved by the Academy. Like it got a lot of Oscar nominations, including Best Picture. It didn't win anything, but for some reason, that film got a lot of Oscar nominations. And
interesting.
yeah, and like that movie was fine. Like it wasn't bad, but it's like I don't think I would ever think or talk about it ever again.
That's fair.
But with Gilbert Grape,
this was Leonardo DiCaprio's like first big movie, so that was really interesting to see like where he started.
Mentally disabled.
Yeah, he did a really good job. I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, I guess we can first talk about the performances if we're segueing, going into that.
I'm realizing both of these movies kind of have a theme of being burnt out. What does it say about us?
This is the last episode.
We're burnt out.
We're burnt out so much, guys.
Honestly, yeah.
But yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio. Like he always does a great job with like any movie he does. Like I don't think there's like a movie he does a bad job in. But this is definitely like one of his best performances, and he was like 19 when he did it, if I'm right. Which is like, which is crazy.
He looked really young.
I was gonna say he looked way younger, but like when the movie said he was like
playing an 18-year-old, and he looked like he could be like 15.
That's what I mean. He looked like he was like 13 or 14. I was like, damn, he's like.
I was like, this guy was just born.
He was just born like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get the same thing whenever I'm out and about. So
understandable. Leonardo DiCaprio does a really great job. He really, from what I heard, what he did is that he spent a week with mentally disabled kids, and he like noted down like little things they did, and he like gave a whole list to the director, and the director was like, I don't know, just do what you can do. Like he had like no clue.
I don't care.
Like it's because like Leonardo DiCaprio did this after the audition tape, like he got already casted, so like he was like, just do what you did during the audition. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna do like. Leo was like, I'm gonna do like 1, 3, and 24 for my list in the scene. Are you okay with that? And he's like, the director's like, okay, whatever.
I'm glad that he actually did research and stuff instead of just like trying to wing it and doing something stupid.
we don't have a music situation. Remember that? You remember the music movie directed by Sia?
Oh, yeah, about like autism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie was crazy.
I heard things about that.
I've heard things.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp also does a. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I've spent a lot of time around like kids that were pretty disabled. So I was like, okay, I see the vision. I see it. It's pretty accurate. I spent a lot of time is a weird thing to say. I have like a few cousins.
I spent a lot of time with mentally disabled children. It's my specialty, actually. For fun. Don't say that.
What? Can't have fun with like you can't just hang out with people for fun?
All right.
I thought the other performances were good too.
It's obviously
Johnny Depp was
DiCaprio
really
that's
good.
stealing the show, but all the
Yeah.
other performances are
Yeah,
great.
it was him still on the show. But like what's her name? Juliette Lewis was in it, and she was great. Her character was really weird, but she was great. She's always great.
She's always a freak.
Yeah. She really is. In Yellow Jackets, she's crazy.
I haven't
She's the
seen it.
best one, honestly.
She's the best one. I did like Johnny Depp's performance. It wasn't like anything that's like gonna blow your fucking mind away, but it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
he
But
captures
it
the
felt
character
real.
well. Yeah. Also, John C. Reilly's in it, my goat.
Dude, I saw him and I pogged like in real life. I was like, oh, it's John C. Reilly.
It's John C. Reilly.
He's right there.
Back when like he wasn't
sing
cast
Mr.
as, like
Cellophane.
back when like yeah, Mr. Cellophane. Back when he was like actually cast in movies where that actually used his acting capabilities before he just got stuck with like Will Ferrell comedies.
Okay, but Step Brothers is a masterpiece.
I just think it's fine, but
It was really good. I'm
different
so
strokes for
impressed.
different folks.
You don't want to you don't want to like build a bunk bed with me or anything.
Dude, you're gonna be the person in the bottom bunk if that happens.
No, you gotta. I weigh less, so I gotta be in the top bunk.
No, I'm gonna fucking make sure you get crushed by
You're
the
gonna
top. By
kill me.
No, put Robbie on the top bunk.
And me on the bottom?
Yeah.
Well, this might be my last episode, guys.
I realize like we're just like saying this to ourselves. Like people are listening to this and are like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" Robbie is a lot bigger. Yeah, Robbie's a lot taller and bigger than Mac. That's why we're saying that.
Yeah. He's probably got like 200 pounds on me, man.
To talk about other aspects about Gilbert Grape, though, I also like the overall direction with the movie from Shut Up, let's say Hallstorm. It's like a Swedish last name. I don't know how to fully pronounce it.
Okay.
There's actually a lot of Swedish people that worked on this movie that I have names for. So, but like I love how he was able to capture a specific feeling for the film. Like it's both very cozy and very chaotic, but not like chaotic in like a grand scheme of things. More like chaotic and like I could be in the situation right now.
Yeah, it's a little like too realistic.
Like the way he
It's like
directs,
could just happen.
the way he directs like chaotic scenes is so like it feels like you're right there, like just observing everything going
You
on.
said that and I immediately thought of one.
What, like
But
the
it's
dinner
towards
scene?
the end, so it's a spoiler. So
Oh,
I'll remember it this time, maybe.
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of like chaotic scenes, but you kind of just feel bad for Gilbert most of the time.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
yeah.
man, everybody's like, Gilbert, we need this. Gilbert, we need that.
Gilbert,
why
I
don't you
need
do
napalm.
this? Gilbert, hurry up, we need this. And it's like, just let him, just give him a break, man.
I mean, the first 10 minutes, Gilbert has to help his brother stop climbing this tall ass fucking like building. Well,
He
it's not a
spends
building.
half the movie making him stop climbing things.
The writing process was really dried.
They're like, hey Leo, how well can you climb a tree?
Leo, okay, I know you're already acting mentally disabled,
Scrawny
but can you
little guy.
climb trees?
Uh,
I also really love the cinematography from Savan Nickvest. I think that's how you pronounce it.
I did like the cinematography. Now every time I go to say cinematography, I think about that meme, the cinematography, and I mess up saying it.
Cinematography. Cinematography. It was honestly weird seeing him because, like, this is a director who's worked with, like, the director Bergman a lot, which, if you're
Okay.
remotely a cinephile, you'll know who he is.
I hate the word cinephile.
It is a word.
Yeah, but it sounds like pedophile.
You're one of those
It's like,
cinephiles,
oh,
aren't
you do
you?
what to movies? Gross.
But it was weird to see like somebody who's like directed a lot of like art house, not directed, shot a lot of like art house films, like shoot like a more like mainstream movie. But regardless, the film is very beautiful looking. I love the colors, like the way
Yeah.
sunsets look, and
Oh, the sunsets are really good, man.
yeah, and
I
the
just
the
took a
framing's always
sunset.
interesting. It's all great.
Yeah. All the shots of like the house.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
one where Gilbert and what's the girl's name?
There's like two girls. You got to be more specific.
The one played by Juliette Lewis. Hold on. Let
Somebody.
me Google.
It's done
I
by
should have had
somebody.
this up.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at like while you're on that, I was looking at trivia. Apparently, in an interview, Johnny Depp admitted that he got easily aggravated by Leonardo DiCaprio during the filming.
I'm gonna be honest, I got a little bit annoyed at him watching him.
I actually annoyed looking at Leonardo DiCaprio overall.
I do now. Oh, Becky. Becky.
Becky. That's the
Um,
one like Leo, not Leo. Johnny Depp falls in love with, right? Or is it like one of the
yeah.
sisters? Okay.
There's that one part where they're like walking like right after sunset because she wants to see his house.
And the shot of the
And that
house is
shot of the
silhouette.
house, and it's like the house is like darkened because the sun is setting behind it, and it's like really pretty.
Silhouette shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cinematographer is great overall. He shot a film like it's a film called Persona, not the game. I know you're thinking of the game. Don't think of the fucking game, but a film called Persona, and that film is really really well shot. It's very precise with like framing and all that. And yeah, this the cinematography he keeps going. He does not miss. He doesn't miss with movies. And
He doesn't miss.
one thing I also loved about this movie was the overall score from, give me one second here, Bjorn Isfalt and Alan Parker. Hopefully, well, Alan Parker's not a hard name to pronounce, but the first one.
How do you say Parker?
uh, the score is really, really great. I particularly love how audio quality was kind of a consideration with it. Like, there's something about the way it sounds, like audio quality wise. Like, there's something like I don't know how to describe it. It's like it feels so like '90s without being a bad thing.
Yeah, it's almost like I don't know. It's like nostalgic almost, I guess.
It does feel nostalgic. The score itself feels incredibly nostalgic. I don't know how the hell they did that, but
I think it's
yeah,
just because it's
they
old.
that is true. It's like 32 years old if I'm right. Wait,
Yeah, it's like what,
yeah, 32,
97? No,
93.
93. 97 would not
Yep.
be 32.
Yeah, stupid. You don't know how to do math. You don't know how to do meth, liberal.
I don't. I'm not good at math or math.
Math or meth, can't do it
Yeah.
anyway.
I really like the setting too. Like
Oh, the production design is great.
yeah, like it doesn't feel like a set at all. Like this is a small town.
Dude, the production designer has a fucking like crazy name. I'm gonna say it right
Oh,
now. Brent Amadeus Capra. That is
that
a
is
fucking like
awesome.
that is an
Amadeus,
awesome name. Yeah.
like the
Oh, that's
movie.
the name of the Mozart biopic.
Oh yeah, I think that's like a Meat Canyon's favorite movie of all time.
Huh. Um but yeah,
Unreal.
the production design is really great. I love how everything feels like a small town with like how like buildings are built.
Yeah,
That's
down
a
to
weird
like
sentence.
all
And
the like extras, all the people in town constantly
yeah.
moving and going about their day is great.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like "Do the Right Thing," where it constantly
Oh
reminded
yeah.
you of like it was all in a neighborhood, like a small town.
Yeah.
Well, Do the Right Thing was a neighborhood. This is a small town, but either way, both you feel like it's a small community, all like
Small town
in
of
the
New York.
small town of New York. Yeah,
It's 5 boroughs.
5 boroughs.
Yeah. And I don't know what I was gonna say. Oh, there's just so many like interesting little characters that you get to like meet, and I thought that was fun.
Dude, some of the characters were fucking crazy.
Yeah. What's her name? Betty? Betty, that like MILF that Gilbert is like seeing.
Sleeping with. That's not a spoiler. It happens like in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like they reveal it. I'm like,
Oh, that was crazy. I was like, what?
dude, I was like, damn, I thought he was going after this one girl. He's going after a MILF too?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
I just assumed that Becky was like the only one involved, but no, he was already seeing this one, and I was like, alright.
Dude, he was already getting with a MILF
Yeah.
who has like terrible, not a terrible husband, a husband that's just trying to desperately connect with
He's
his
just
wife and
trying to
kids.
do
And
his
they all
best,
hate him.
man. I felt so bad for
Yeah.
him. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Someone get this man I don't know, like a pat on the back.
give this man like a hug and maybe like, I don't know, a shot or something, like a whiskey.
Someone get this man a hot dog.
Get this man a hot dog and a burger.
I guess I can mention one aspect. I do have a couple issues holding this film back for me. I can mention one of them right now. I know this was released in 1993, so like certain things were like different back then. But I did find some aspects of the writing a bit like iffy. Like I don't know if that holds up well. And like now, mainly like there like the scene where like Gilbert is talking to Becky and like the many times where like Gilbert's like, you know what's my problem? My mom is so fucking fat. That's my fucking problem. My mom is so goddamn fat.
Like,
that's my biggest problem.
have you ever seen a beached whale? That's her.
That's my mom. And like, she's so fat.
Yeah, this is how you pick up women. You talk about how your mom's like really fat. Like,
like,
and then, like, what? The girl's gonna be like, wow, this
MILF?
guy really respects his mom. I bet he'll respect me too. Like, yeah, okay.
Like the film definitely has sincerity with how it like handles its topic, but like the way it built up is a little weird,
Yeah.
and it's not too much with like it's surprisingly like with like Gilbert's mom and not with Leonardo DiCaprio. Like you would think like it would be like the mental disability they would get wrong, not just simple fat shaming.
Well, it's the 90s.
Yeah, and like back in the 90s, people would call people just like fat bitches.
Like, you're a size 4? Okay, well.
Yeah. Dude, there's like so many scenes though where they're just like, damn, this bitch is fat. And that's like the whole scene. That's like the whole scene.
Dude, I don't think this is really a spoiler, but like whenever they notice that like the floor is a little the floor is kind of bowing in the middle, they're like, dang, this fucking our massive mom is making the floor cave in. We can't tell her.
We cannot tell her because we have. Listen, if like Gilbert Grape from like the first act would have told the mom, it would just been like, Mom, you're so fucking fat. Go to the gym, you dumbass.
Yeah, she probably would have
like that's all
died or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
She probably would have been like, yeah, kill me.
Yeah, just shoot me in the chest. You have anything you'd like to say about Gilbert Grape? Spoiler free wise?
Spoiler free?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was a really fun. I just like blanked out at what
I think it was a really fun.
It's a fun movie experience. I think. I like that all the characters have something a little weird about it. It made it fun to watch. Cause like.
Yeah, every character's distinct.
Yeah, every character they're a little odd. They're just a little kooky. Little guy. Especially Becky. I mean, listen. She was just real weird. She was just
Well, she
always
wasn't
looking
even
and
she.
smiling at people like.
Well, she was like an out of town girl, so
Yeah,
like
so I
she
get
was
it.
just
I relate, but like,
yeah,
I liked her.
yeah. Do you want to get into the spoilers?
Yeah, let's
The
get into the
spoilers.
spoiler.
All right, people, listen to me. You want to know what's eating Gilbert Grape? You not paying attention to me, okay? So you got to start doing that now. I'm trying to be creative with my transitions.
I feel like
They're really lame.
yeah, I think they're alright.
All right. Listen, I'm.
That was mean.
What
I like that.
is
That
wrong with you?
Tucker, the one played by John C. Reilly. I like how he just really wants to work at the Burger Barn, and that's like his entire thing is he wants to work at the Burger Barn.
That does go hard.
I thought that was a really
Alright.
good. And then he gets the job,
Good
and I'm
art.
like, that's a good character development.
That's a good character arc. All right. We'll talk about more about burgers and more things with the spoilers. But if you haven't seen the movie, you probably shouldn't listen to that. Skip to this timeline right now if you don't want to be spoiled to what's eating Gilbert Grape. I can already tell trying to fit this in all like one line is going to be a nightmare with the title. But besides that, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So the Burger Barn tasted like shit. Can we talk about that first and foremost? The
Dude,
Burger Barn
whenever
did not taste good.
They're like trying the Burger Barn food at the grand opening or whatever, and Tucker's like, "Here, try this. Like, try the burger. How's the burger?" And like,
Try the milkshake.
Arnie is like, he's there having a good time. I think he's enjoying it, and Gilbert's just like, "Yeah, it's good," but he doesn't look like he's having fun. He looks like it's an okay burger.
He never looks like he's having fun.
He never does.
Overall.
Honestly, I relate. I think it's okay to have a not that expressive face, you know? But
Yeah, I get that.
yeah, then he tries the milkshake, and then Arnie's like, "Ooh, good milkshake," and he's like, making sounds like he's like, "Oh, this is a good milkshake," and then Gilbert's just like,
Milkshake!
Yeah,
Milkshake.
it's good."
That was the most
Like,
disappointing
this guy
part of the film
hates
for me.
life right now. He can't even enjoy a milkshake, man. But
I guess to actually talk about. No, it's a spoiler because it's like they built up Burger Barn being at the town.
Yeah.
So like you could say the reveal of it tasting like shit is a spoiler because that's like, ooh, I wonder what a Burger Barn's gonna taste like.
But he's like, we get a fast food place and it's Burger Barn.
It's like.
It's like you get a fast food place in your town, but it's Burger King.
I knew you were gonna say something about Burger King.
Oh, because like it's. I haven't eaten
I
there
get it,
in
I
like
get it.
8 years, and I don't plan on it.
I mean, I don't think anybody plans to go eat at Burger King. I think it just like depends on the mood.
Yeah, I think the mood is never, but that's just me.
Alright. Well,
There's a lot
to get
of
into actual
spoiler
spoilers.
things to talk about here, I think.
I guess we can start with like I guess one of the bigger ones, the scene where Gilbert Grape basically beats the shit out of Ernie.
He hits him like twice.
Dude, it was not like a simple slap. Dude, fucking like slapped him like it was like a 1950s like dinner was slightly cooked ass slap. Burnt. Dinner was slightly cooked. Dinner was slightly burnt. Slapped.
It was slightly slapped. Hey, you slapped my mashed potatoes. Come here. Dumb. I don't know. Dumb broad. He slaps.
Okay, alright.
I don't know.
The woman said that, not me.
I'm allowed to.
Alright.
The scene I was talking about when we were talking about like, how was it like overwhelming scenes or something?
Yeah.
The scene right before that, the sister Amy, she like just finished baking the cake for Arnie's birthday, which is like tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And Arnie runs through, and he bumps into her, and she drops it on the floor. That scene was stressing me out.
Dude, honestly, like the I forget the lady who played that to Amy, but dude,
Laura
that was like
Harrison.
such a dude. She did such a good job in that scene in particular because that felt like a genuine like personal meltdown. Like, like that felt like a meltdown that like anybody could have. Like if you're
Yeah.
remotely into baking,
Yeah, she just goes, I can't bake another one, Gilbert. And I
and
was
he
like,
betrays
that's
the
so good.
supermarket by going to Food
Yeah.
Mart.
And then after all that, Arnie's still being like a little jerk. He's like, no one take a bet, so he punches him real hard.
And then he just leaves. Gilbert
Yeah,
just leaves.
yeah.
I do love that small scene where Gilbert slightly leaves town and he kind of looks on the horizon and he goes back.
Yeah, he just like
I thought
parks
it
for
was
a little
like
bit and he turns around.
I thought that was like a really great like subtle moment in the writing there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm honestly surprised because while I did criticize, because like I thought at first that was not going to get treated that well, like Gilbert hitting Ernie. Like at first, I was not getting treated well because Gilbert was like legit regretting it, but Becky was like, he's doing okay, right? Like he's
Yeah.
fine. you don't have to worry. And it's like,
Yeah.
dude, he slapped the shit out of him.
Well, he's 18-year-old. He's durable.
Still, but
Dude,
like
you'd
that
be
gets treated like
surprised. Those
still.
kids are strong.
Um,
But yeah.
those kids. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
I have a cousin who's like, uh, he's got like a
and I,
few disabilities, and he has
and I
cerebral
beat the shit out of
palsy.
him all the time, and he's
Okay.
fine.
He has cerebral palsy, and he can't use his right arm at all. His left arm is like crazy strong, and it's large. He's got a big arm, man.
All right. But going back to what I was saying,
I wouldn't want him to punch me, but he wouldn't do that.
but um, it did get treated a lot better. Like the family is actually like, Gilbert, what the fuck is wrong with
Yeah,
you?
they're like, why did you do that and then just leave? It would have been
Yeah,
okay if you
like-
stayed here.
Yeah, it would have been okay. We would have understood it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love how like throughout the whole film, Gilbert Grape's just like overall like he gets tested like mentally so often in this movie, and the way it just explodes at certain points is
Yeah.
it's really compelling to watch.
Yeah, but honestly, it's kind of like valid, I guess, because, like, he's like early 20s, and he's basically the dad for his like whole family of 5 people. That's
Yeah,
gotta be like a
that scene
lot
where
on your
like
plate. And he like works and
that's
everything.
that scene where like the younger sister said like Gilbert Grape doesn't do anything. It's like, bitch, he like literally takes care of
He
Ernie
does
like
everything.
24/7.
She
Like
plays the
24/7.
trumpet decently. That's what she does.
And works in an ice cream
And
shop.
she like is really sassy to everyone. Oh yeah, she does work
Dude, that
at
scene
the
where like
ice
Grape
cream
nearly
place.
runs her over with the car.
That was funny. I really like the thing where those kids are like looking through the window to make fun of the fat mom, and she throws a baked potato. At them and
I feel like yeah.
And then Cooper's kind of like, "Huh, that was funny," and nobody cares that she just broke a window.
I feel like they were all just like numb.
Yeah.
Like
Honestly, that's fair.
that was also the scene where Ernie gets thrown into jail. I guess we can also talk about that.
Oh yeah, they just arrest this kid for climbing the water tower.
Dude, that's honestly so fucking crazy. Like, listen. I know they warned him plenty of times, but how fucking stupid and dumb do you have to be as a cop to be like, oh, this mentally disabled kid climbed up a tower too many times? Okay, time to put him in jail where he'll totally be okay.
Yeah.
He'll totally be safe now. Like,
Well, okay.
fucking
And they show you,
dumb.
like, okay, he climbs it, like, multiple times in the movie, but they, like, say
Yeah.
he keeps doing this. He's done this a lot of times before the movie even takes place. So it's like, okay, it's a water tower. Why is it not gated?
Why don't you just have like a?
There
Why
are
don't you get like one of the
two.
cops to like guard the fucking
Yeah,
water town and just hopefully get Ernie not the climates.
cause like I live in a tiny town. There's like 1,000 people in my town. Well, not my town in Alabama that I work at, but my like hometown is. There's like 1,000 people there. We have two water towers, and they both have fences around them that are locked. You can't get in.
It was the '90s.
Those fences have probably been there in the 90s, because they were there when I was little in the
I don't know.
2000s.
I don't know.
But to be
I don't
fair,
know.
one of them is in the park. One of my water towers is in the
Yeah.
park. So I guess it kind of has to
Just
be. But like that one's in the middle of town. In the movie, they should have like a fence, or they should at least have like a, I don't know, like a cage thing around the bottom of the ladder with like a lock on it, like a door.
cage thing.
Not a cage. That was a bed. Like a door. They should have a door.
Have a door.
Cause it's really like it's a
Um,
liability, you know. You can't just have like an unattended water tower.
um, and it was interesting to see how Ernie's arrest caused Gilbert's mom to get outside after like
Yeah.
what was it, like 5 years.
Cause at the end of the day, like the thing she loves most is Arnie.
Well, yeah,
She's like, I gotta go get my boys. They locked him up.
I gotta get my boy. It's also like again like the film with like the whole like fat jokes because there was like a whole shot of like the car driving. You could like see it like slanted
It's
because of the mom in the car. It's
so
like
weird. It's like what?
it's like it feels like it's trying to like say something, but it's also like haha, ha, she's fat. And like it literally the scene before that, it had like a very emotional scene with like everybody looking at the mom weird as she's like leaving the prison. It's like if like I clearly get that it's trying to say something, but it's also like not. I don't know. But I guess to also get to one of my biggest compliments with the film is the overall message it's going for. It's like the sincerity of like basically just trying to deeply understand the people you love and why you love them to begin with, even if they can frustrate the ever loving hell out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, the main thing was like they stuck together.
Uh-huh.
And
Like
I thought that was nice.
like even like the scenes where like Gilbert reconnects like with Arnie after he beats the shit out of him and talks with his mom afterwards. Those are genuinely sweet scenes, and I like how Gilbert Grape like progresses. He's like more understanding of like what he wants to do with his life and how to like protecting his family, which we're in spoilers. Turns out wasn't that long with the mom to begin with.
Yeah. Oh, that scene where Arnie goes upstairs to like
Oh yeah,
to go see her and she's dead. Oh man.
yeah. And the fact that the shot
That
just
was a
lingers
tough
onto his like
watch.
crying face for like so long. Like it does not cut at all.
Yeah. And then after that it's like a almost at a montage, but it's not really a I don't know what I would call it. Like there it's
You
just
talk about the scene, them
almost a
standing in the room.
yeah, they're just in the bedroom with
That
their
those are
dead
jump
mom.
cuts.
Jump cut. Yeah, that's a good. I was gonna say like time lapse, and I was like, that's not it either.
No,
But they're there for like a
it's
whole
jump
day
cuts.
and like a
Liberal
whole
learn
night.
about it. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
not much else to say.
I don't know.
Oh,
It's just
dude,
really
like I'm just like
fun.
remembering other crazy shit that happens. That like husband to the MILF died too, like out of
Dude,
nowhere.
he had a heart attack and fell in the pool and drowned. And I was like, what? Honestly, I would too
Fucking
if I
one
was
inch
in.
pool.
Jeez, that was.
Yeah. Dude, those kids did. I don't even think those kids even cared about like their father dying.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we get to go to the grocery store and pick out a snack. How fun.
Well, hell yeah.
Okay, the parents were like kind of old. I thought.
The dad definitely.
The dad had like fully gray hair, and the
Like,
mom,
dude looked like he was like 60 at youngest.
yeah, the mom had to be like at 40s, and the kids are
Yeah,
like elementary school
12.
age.
like elementary school.
Yeah, like 6 or 7. Like, okay,
7 at oldest.
yeah,
It's like how Robert De Niro just had a new kid. Like,
yeah, except he's like 80.
yeah, I know. He's like, it's even worse because he's like so old.
Yeah.
Bro's like living, like playing Fear Factor.
Fear Factor, what, Joe Rogan's there?
I don't know. I hope not.
He used to host Fear Factor. That's why I said that. Oh.
I also, I guess, I can mention like something. I also felt like some things about like the pacing were like a bit like too slow in my opinion. Like certain times where it's just like it was like really going on about like a certain arc or like a certain like scene. It was just like, eh. I mean, I get it. Like you want to make everything like come together because there's a lot going on in this movie. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I was just like, man, the scene's still going, ain't it?
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like not everything has to come together. Because
Was
sometimes
there
I
something in
like to
particular
think
that you thought was
about.
unnecessary?
Sometimes I like to like wonder, you know? But like, oh, I wonder
Yeah.
what happened with this like later on. And I'm like thinking about like a movie. Um, I can't think of anything particular for this. Oh well, I know that like he put his job in jeopardy when he got the cake and his boss saw him.
But who gives a shit?
But and he's like, I risked my job for this. I really put it off for you, and you still got into the cake. Like, but it didn't
that
really.
just doesn't go anywhere.
It didn't really affect his job, did it? We didn't really find out. We get like a
No.
year later. Like we get like a little scene at the end where it's like a year later, but we don't really get
Yeah, wrapping up.
any indication of if he still works there or what. We do know that him and Arnie can just go travel if they want, but
Yeah.
I mean he's still gotta be
I guess
working
we didn't.
somewhere.
I guess we also didn't talk about one of the biggest aspects of the movie, Gilbert and Becky's chemistry.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good. It was really sad though that she had to let go. I was like, dang, take him with you.
Yeah. Take him with you.
Yeah.
It is really sweet. Like, I think it's just mainly because the rest of the movie's so stressful that these like small moments of just like pure calm and um like just nothing but calmness to it. It like really fits with the movie. I just hit my microphone.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, I can breathe for like 2 minutes now.
Yeah, because like when Becky's around, it's like everybody's calm.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, her and Artie vibe, and Gilbert's like not depressed for once.
Dude, Ernie was going crazy over Becky.
Dude, they're best friends, I think.
Best friend.
I wanted more Becky in the movie.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like despite the
vibing.
Yeah. It does feel like weirdly, despite the fact that she's like the main like female character, if we want to be like exact.
Yeah.
She doesn't there's some moments where she just like disappears. And I get, Gilbert's life is like really complex and there's a lot going on, but like for like her being like the main like thing that like brings him peace, that kind of starts like a whole thing. It kind of felt like, there could have been more,
Yeah. But he's so busy and he has so much going on that like
he
maybe
doesn't
that
have
was
time for pussy.
purposeful for the movie, like maybe
It was probably purposeful.
yeah. Because he might have just.
I just felt like it probably would have worked better.
Yeah, I think so.
feel like there's more I could talk about, but my mind is like drawing a blank right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I did think this isn't really like a spoiler, I guess, but like it's just like it was really funny to me at the very end when Becky comes back with her grandma and they get in the car with them. Just
Yeah.
immediately, like Gilbert and Ernie get in the back seat. Immediately, Becky jumps in the back seat, starts like making out with Gilbert. And the grandma's just like,
Hey,
okay.
hey, it's you, Ernie. Oh, Gilbert.
Arnie very quickly gets to the front seat out of that scenario. He's like, hey, Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
Grandma's
My
like,
best friend.
Grandma's like, oh, okay. They're busy back there.
Oh.
But I was just like, wow, right in front of Grandma? Really?
We're right in front of Grandma.
Like, I get that they're both like in their 20s, but like right in front of Grandma.
Mac messaged me like after she was done watching the movie, saying how like I'm glad Ernie got a cool new haircut at the end.
Oh yeah, he got the classic young Leo cut.
Yeah, it's honestly
Which
like
is
so
like the
weird, like
K-pop
seeing
idol haircut.
It was so weird, like seeing like Leonardo DiCaprio so young in a role, because I've gotten so used to like how he looks now, but, like seeing him like any other like young like any younger, it's like, huh, that's what he used to look like, huh?
And you
Quirky.
know what I'm thinking? I'm realizing now.
What?
It was the haircut that made him look that young. Cause he has that like the hair he has in the movie now, and it makes him look really young.
Yeah.
And then he gets the classic like young Leo cut. It's like, it's kind of like a bowl cut parted down the
It's
middle
that
type
faded
deal.
cut.
And then you're like, okay, now he looks like the classic Leonardo DiCaprio you think of when you think about like the Titanic or something. You're like, okay,
Wolf of Wall Street.
he doesn't look like a baby now. Oh, Wolf of Wall Street, he's a
stupid
little
baby.
older now, right?
Wolf of Wall Street is 2013.
Yeah, he's a lot older.
He is a lot. He might
I'm thinking about
be 20 years
90s
older.
DiCaprio. Like,
I recently I recently saw, this is like completely unrelated. I saw like a post that said Leonardo DiCaprio splits with the world after it turns 25.
Oh man,
Why does he love? Why does he love like women under the age 25 so much? Why is that like his thing?
They don't have a lot of life experience, and they're hot. Hotter than women his age. To him, I guess.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Cause like they don't know nothing about the world. They just like they're just now adults. That's a little weird.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. That's probably crazy too. I imagine he goes like crazy in the first day too. So he's like, okay, so are you a vegan?
Are you a vegan? I love the environment.
Let me tell you about our ecosystem and how it's dying, and they're just like 20 years old, just like getting all this like shoved in.
Babe, no, I'm not like manipulating you. I'm a good person. I care about the environment.
I would love. Imagine it. I'm imagining like a comedy skit where like they're like saying it, and it's like slowly zooming out, and there's just like a big pound of steak he's like cutting into.
There's so many famous people that are vegan.
Yeah,
I went down like a rabbit hole with it. And I was like, wow.
That's an interesting rabbit hole. Maybe we should get into the final thoughts of Gilbert Grape, because we're talking about Leonardo DiCaprio now. We're not even talking about.
Yeah. Like final thoughts really quick, yeah.
Alright. We're done with spoilers of Gilbert Grape. I feel like there was probably more to say about that, but my brain is like rotting. That's always a problem with recording these. My brain just slowly decays more and more. Overall, what's in Gilbert Grape is pretty great. It's not perfect. The writing is kind of iffy at points. Like the representation kind of feels a little Some of the pacing was a little off, but for the most part, the film works pretty well. It looks great, sounds great, has some pretty great performances. Leonardo DiCaprio, like it's pretty easy to see why he became such a famous actor after this.
Yeah, this was definitely like a great start to like an acting career. If I ever saw one, so.
Basically, everything's pretty good.
I'd cast him in
not
Romeo
much else
and
to say.
Juliet after that, you know?
What are you, Baz Luhrmann right now? Like,
Yeah.
what are you saying to me?
No. I don't want to be Baz Luhrmann. Didn't he like? Did he like touch people?
I don't know. I don't like him because he made Elvis and Moulin Rouge, and they suck.
Oh, I thought he like touched people or something.
I don't
If he
remember what it
movies,
is.
then that's okay.
All right.
But yeah, I thought it was fun. It's fun for the whole family, I guess.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. But
Watch this movie with your mom.
There's a lot of emotion to it, but it's not so heavy that you're just like that you just kind of feel blah afterwards, you know? Like it has enough lighthearted moments that you're like, all right, that's kind of fun.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of fun.
I would give it a high 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think a 7. I'd also give it a 7.
Damn, we're agreeing with all our ratings today. We're not being different. We're synergized. Yeah. We'll have different ratings for the next episode, guys. We promise. Maybe.
We'll coordinate ahead of time. If you say 7, I gotta go. I give it a 6.
I give it a 1 out of 10. It sucked.
I hated it. You give a movie a 10 out of 10, and I'm like, it's garbage, and I give it a 1. I take back everything I said.
Fucking gross.
Gross. I spit on it.
Spit on it.
Spit on that thing.
I knew you were gonna fucking say that. God damn it.
I wouldn't have said it, then you said spit on it really quietly, and it made me think of it.
I was just saying what you were saying. Whatever.
We went to.
Alright, we got the movie discussion.
We went to the same school. Same college.
That's so cool for you.
Okay.
Alright. Now that we got the movie discussion out the way, it is time to do the little silly question time where we ask each other a question. Before that, I saw recently on Twitter, because I was just bored and looking at it, that the director of I Saw the TV Glow, they made a tweet, said, okay, I guess I'll watch Emilia Perez, and everyone's like, no, don't do it! I honestly would be curious to hear their thoughts on that film in particular. Oh, I guess we'll wait and see. Besides that, let's get into the Q&A. Do you have a question you'd like to ask first, Mac?
I have mine.
I have mine if you want to.
Okay, you can go first.
Okay, so with any movie that you hate, or like consider one of your least favorite movies of all time, was there a particular moment, like a particular scene or a particular act where you just knew you were in for a huge, steaming piece of shit? Like it was just going to be like so particularly awful?
Oh, Road Trip, like immediately.
Immediately.
Because it opens with like the guy's cheating on his girlfriend and filming it, and he accidentally.
I think he accidentally films it. I don't. Oh, I think he did film it on purpose. I did film it on purpose. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he records it.
Stupid.
He records it, so his friends could jerk off to it, which is really gay, honestly. If we're gonna be honest.
Yeah, like. Yeah, like hold up.
Like another mainly going after the woman, but like that's honestly really gay.
Yeah, but like what? Are they gonna be like, wow, good form, man?
Good job!
Great technique.
Yeah, and the whole plot is just him trying to stop his actual long-distance girlfriend from receiving the video that proves that he's a cheating sack of shit.
Yeah, and it's like, okay.
It's weird too, because I was thinking of that question. I was actually gonna say Road Trip too. Let me think of another answer. Let me think of another. There's other bad movies. It's not exclusive to just that. Nah, I can. Okay, I think I got mine. So there's this movie called Crash. It was released in, well, kind of depends. It was released in 2004, but worldwide it was released in 2005. It doesn't really matter. The movie
Okay.
shit. That movie is really, really, really bad. But I think the particular moment that I just knew that it was just gonna be so fucking awful is like there's a scene where the film has Sandra Bullock in it, and she's married to Brendan Fraser. They have names, but I don't fucking remember them. Don't remember them in the slightest. And like
For a split second, I thought you meant like she's married to him in real life, and I was like, what?
that would be
And then I was like,
insane.
oh no, it would
But basically,
Hurtful.
basically, they have these two housekeepers for at their house, and they're well, I actually think it's just one. I don't remember. It's they're both Mexican, and like that's important, by the way. I know that sounds random, but that is actually important. Uh, and
I
like
think it had to be, or else you would have mentioned it.
yeah, probably. The one of the Mexicans like puts like in a lock in their door, and like Sandra Bullock afterwards, like she goes up to Brendan Fraser, and goes like, "I want you to check the locks because I don't trust that Mexican or our housekeeper Mexican." And she goes on this huge like weird like big tangent about like how much she hates Mexicans, and I'm like, man, this is just gonna be the whole movie, isn't it? It's just gonna be like the most like baby like stupid Reddit way you could describe this. You could do this movie because because that movie overall, it's kind of trying to be like Do the Right Thing, where it's like showing how like hate spews with like everyone. But think if like Do the Right Thing had no point and it was just like Spike Lee pointing at you and going like, "You're racist. I don't care about you. Get the fuck out of my place." Like there's no point made to it whatsoever. That's basically Crash. It's so shit. And that won Best Picture too over Brokeback Mountain, which nobody likes. I don't think a single person actually likes that decision whatsoever.
That's fair, yeah. I
So
haven't
that's
seen it, so I can't go on the movie.
never watch it. You're
really weird.
never watch Crash. It's so bad. So yeah, I guess that's my answer. You have a question?
Um, I was so focused on that question that I kind of hold on.
It happens. It happens.
I was like, this is a good one. This is a good discussion here.
Oh, that's audio. Sorry.
Is there a movie you don't like that has like a scene or like an aspect of it that you actually like really do like?
There's plenty of movies that I don't like at all, but has like aspects about it that I do love. Let me look through my list. I know there's like particular ones. I was gonna say one film that, but we've already mentioned it, so I might as well go for like something else. Um,
Okay.
Pick a random thing. Pick a random movie. Pick a random dick and balls. I don't know. Do you have your answer?
Um, uh, I guess I'll go Oppenheimer.
Okay.
I'll go with that one because I didn't really like the movie at all, but I do think that there were like lots of good performances and lots of cool shots, and like the bomb was cool.
The bomb was cool.
The bomb was awesome.
Okay.
I honestly,
Go ahead.
I don't remember. No, I do remember the bomb going off in the movie,
Yeah, it's the bomb testing
but
scene.
like I missed some of the actors that I was like looking for because I was so bored.
Understandable.
Like I didn't see Roderick from Dog Movie Kid.
Oh yeah, he was in that movie.
Yeah,
I
I
forgot
didn't
who
see
he
him
even
because I wasn't
played.
paying attention.
Yeah, well, there's so many actors in
To
that
be
movie
fair,
that's really hard.
I was in the dorm and my fire alarm went off and everybody had to go. So
Yeah.
for part of the movie, I wasn't really watching because I was
Um.
outside in the cold.
Okay, I think I got mine. There's this 2003 film called Elephant, where it's a movie that's
Cool.
like centered around like a school shooting and like showing like multiple perspectives of like the shooters beforehand, the students at the school building, and all that. It's a neat idea, but an execution is just kind of a pointless movie, honestly. But I will say
Yeah.
I absolutely love the way it's shot. I love how because they have a lot of like long takes where you see characters walking around the school building. It's kind of like Bellatar-ish, which makes sense because Gus Van Sant was inspired by Bellatar with that movie. But um, I love the long takes and like seeing the school building and how it's just the way it moves around. Honestly, the way like long takes are used in that movie, it's like way better than like the other film he did it with, like Gary, which is just like so fucking pointless. Gary was so like pointless. Not the snail. The snail's cool. The movie. But yeah, that's my answer. Elephant, not a great movie, but the cinematography is really really beautiful. All right.
Interesting.
No,
I
it's
didn't realize
time.
that there was a school shooter movie that early, like 2004. That's
Well, well,
wow.
just a year before that, the documentary called "Bowling for Columbine" came out.
Oh yeah, but that's a documentary.
That's still that was like
That
big when it came
makes
out.
yeah, but that makes more sense to me than like a fictional movie.
Yeah.
Little did they know that would become a
Well,
bigger problem.
it I think like Elephant was like well, inspired is a really bad word. Like it was like it was basically like the Columbine High School caused Gus Van Sant to make the movie. That's probably a better way to describe it than inspired.
mm.
um yeah. All right, we got the
Yeah.
Q&A out the way. Let's say our next film picks and get the fuck out of here.
Whoa! Don't say that.
Fuck you.
That's it. I'm quitting the podcast. There's not another movie.
There's never another movie.
We've made like 4 jokes about ending the podcast
Yeah, it's like
in this
it's
episode.
it's all just you too. You have something you want to say?
Yeah. No,
All right. Do you have your next film pick in mind?
I do have my next film pick in mind.
Ooh, she has her next film pick in
Um,
mind.
yeah, I thought really hard about it while we
Okay.
were recording.
Okay.
No Country for Old Men.
Oh, okay. All right. You're picking one of the big guns out there. All right.
Yeah, I watched it for the first time a few weeks ago, and I was like, wow, that was pretty good.
All right.
Because my brother was like, I don't know, he made some like reference to it to my dad. And then, my dad was like, oh yeah,
You're like, well,
because
what
he
the
said
hell
the
is
same.
that? And then they made you watch the
Yeah.
movie.
And I was like, I've never seen the movie. And then Logan was like, I've watched it like 4 times.
Today.
Let's watch it right now. And we get done playing blackjack. We were playing blackjack.
All right. That's cool. I've been meaning to see
Yeah.
that.
So we watched it again. It's really good. I think you'll like it.
All right. I love the Coen
So,
Brothers.
what's your pick?
All right. Mine is going to be a movie I've
It's
been.
shot really well. I know you're gonna talk about that. It's shot really well.
I mean, it's Roger Deakins, so he's like one of the master classes of cinematography.
Whoa. So what's your
But
pick?
so I thought about mine. I was kind of just skimming through the films I wanted to see, and I saw one that I have talked about before, not on this podcast, but like outside, like just talk about films and all that stuff. And I was like, huh, that could be neat. I'm going with a 2022 film or 2023 because that's when it got widely released. Doesn't matter. Medusa Deluxe. Film about like a murder mystery at a fashion show.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I just saw it. I was like, hell yeah, why not? Even if it's not that great, it'll at least be a fun pick.
Yeah.
Kind of goes with No Country for Old Men. I just realized it's also another one where it's like really close to each other alphabetically. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. But at least they're like different letters this time.
Yeah, not the crazies and the cranes are flying. That was. All right. Well, those are going to be some interesting
Oh,
picks.
I got a lot of ads for this movie before it came out.
Oh.
Like, every other YouTube video I watched would be an ad for this, and I thought it looked really cool, and then I just forgot about it. Okay, I'm excited to watch that.
Nice. Alright, we got everything out the way. Let's wrap this up. Thank you to everyone who watched this episode. We are hoping this was a good episode. We had a lot of technical difficulties. Obviously, it's all edited out. That way you don't hear it, but we were struggling a lot with this episode, not gonna lie.
I have a bit of a headache. I think
don't do podcasts
for me. Don't too much podcast.
But regardless, thank you all for watching this, and we hope to see you again. Not much else new to say.
Yeah, see you guys next time. Hope you go ahead and watch these movies so you're ready for the next episode. Yeah.
You better.
Yeah, or else you smell bad.
Oh, hey, yeah, you don't want to smell bad, don't you?
Yeah. We're gonna make you take a shower.
We're gonna make you take a shower. We don't care if you just took one like 10 minutes ago. We're gonna make you take a shower again.
We're gonna reenact the scene from What's Eating Gilbert Grape where he like...
We just punch you?
Yeah, we're gonna punch you in the face because you won't take a bath.
Alright. Well, see you guys some other time. Adios.
Yeah, bye
Adios.
guys.
Adios.